Oh, yep, there we go. Wow, I cannot believe that. What?
Can you hear him now?
What luck.
Okay,
Everything went to default.
Yeah, we can hear him now.
Try that again.
Okay, so I'm gonna try it again, okay? Welcome everyone to SHIRO Show, a brand new SHIRO show. Tonight we'll be painting the town and canvas the town and brush the backdrop. Tonight.
Yes.
How's everyone going? We got a lot of guests here. We got Dan the Mega Driver. We got Danthrax the Danthrax of Manthrax.
You know, it's Danthrax the Manthrax.
And then in the chat we got Dave, and then we have me.
Pat in the chat.
And the voice
Pat in the chat.
Yeah. The disembodied voice of Saturn Dave.
Yep.
The artist formerly known as disembodied voice Dave.
I'm glad that we have Dan here. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Well,
Dan.
not you, Dan.
Yeah, not you, Dan. Get away. That's
driver.
it. Dan,
we have the Mega
there can only be
here.
one. Sorry, there can only be one.
From
there we go.
the Sega guys.
How you doing, Dan Driver?
Yeah, good to be here. It's I was just saying before we recorded, it's normally past my bedtime, but I've had a big tea. That's going to keep me going through the show.
That's good.
Drinking that black tea with that polythene.
If you fall asleep, I'll just nudge you awake over here, okay?
That's it. Yeah, just throw something at me.
Luckily, this is not a very formal show.
Yeah.
No,
we,
not a very formal
we play
one.
it fast and loose here.
Yeah,
so
very loose.
Anything goes.
Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us and
need some tightness
watching
to
and listening.
make it pleasurable, but
yeah, Martin Evans says, "Come on, Dan. It's only 11 p.m." Well,
I'm an old man.
Yeah, he's an old man, so he goes to bed early and wakes up at the crack of dawn or whatever. So
yeah, we have
night owl of the Sega guys.
We have 24 in chat right now. Analog Black Sheep, Waiter Bob, Captain Hawden, Dragons of Saturn, Tales of Saturn, Pudgy Bunny's here, Captain Hawden, Saturns of Saturn. Lots of Pudgy's on the comment train right here. She's got a lot of, and then we got John
on
Wong,
the ball.
We got Paul Bort, Pierre Garreau, Shiro Lightning is here, Dan Thrax,
Shiro Lightning in a bottle, yeah.
David Zaney, Raiden, Frog Bull's here. What's up, Froggy? Martin Evans. Froggy. We got Sasquatch in time. We've got Zeed64. And see who else? Shadow Mask. We can start the party. Shadow just got here. And of course, Offie Matrix. Hey, everybody. Well, it keeps going up. The number keeps going up, but 32 people in chat. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up.
A lot of people, more a lot of people than last week. It's probably a good thing. Yeah, probably a good thing we don't have a conference happening at the same time that our show is happening.
Yeah, that helps. Not E3 happening at the same time.
I'm playing Switch 2 at work and watching you guys. Wow, man, you're working hard.
I wonder what Switch game he's playing. It's either, I'm guessing, with my psychic powers, it's either Mario Kart World War or the Switch 2 demo. That's my magic powers. I'm guessing it's one of those two games.
Cyberpunk. People have been liking that on the Switch too.
Oh, I thought they only bought the Switch for good games. Why would they play Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Lee Toast with the Moses here. And God, I wish I could play Switch 2 and watch live streams at work, but I would never get away with it. But our friend,
same here. I got to do hard work. We got to work hard.
Our friend Roberto from Portugal, like he watches like security cameras for you know, like that's what he does. So he's like, as long as I've got the security cams in my peripheral and I'm watching Shiro show
Saturns
on the other screen. Yeah, so
perfect.
Anyway, what have you all been up to?
I've been pretty good. I got the there's something I did want to mention that I was actually saddened to hear that on Monday. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, probably one of the greatest composers in American history, has passed away. So that was a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, you compared him to like a modern day like Bach or Mozart, and I think that's apt. You know, when it comes to modern pop music, he's the closest equivalent to like a classical composer. He did these like amazing arrangements in the studio, and just had like the sky was the limit when it came to his imagination. So I know I was inspired by him a lot when it came to like songwriting and stuff. So
I mean, he's the only artist I know that has 2 magnum opuses of albums. Like there's always like an artist that has like maybe one big one, but he has 2. He has Pet Sounds and Smile, and like it's just amazing. Like the output he's done is just fantabulous. Probably 2 of the best albums of all time. Only
band that could make the Beatles jealous, you know. I mean, I guess they had like a back and forth kind of trying to one up each other, you know. That says something, you know. That says something. But yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody mentioned friends of the Charles Manson. No, that was Dennis Wilson. Other
you got
Beach
a little
Boy.
pickup this week, didn't you, Pat?
I had a couple. So I got back from Phoenix Comic-Con, or I guess Phoenix Fan Fusion last week after the thing, and I picked up a couple things. I got the shirts, this Half-Life shirts. Actually, it's funny. Nice. I got it from the booth. I got a Half-Life 2 shirt from 10 years ago, and I was like, oh, I'll just get the Half-Life 1 shirt after 10 years. So now I have both. That's cool. And nice. I got an anime shirt. So I tried to get another one they had another one that I wanted, but it was sold out. And I was like, but they actually had a better one in my size, and it was this cool Don shirt of Turbo Granny, or Tabo Gigi, if you will.
Oh, nice. Oh, that looks really cool.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I picked that up. That was pretty good deals on that. I picked up some Warhammer dollies too, but I have to paint them up before I show them on the show. That's my only rule. I need to have the dollies painted up, which is going to tie into what Dan's going to talk about later with me too. So we'll have some.
Yeah, true.
Be glad you're not in Phoenix now. We're going to be 103 weekend. Right, hey, Deep Blue, guess what? Take a wild guess where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I also picked up something, and I'm not kidding you. I got these for $2. I'm not joking. I picked up a pair of used Jordans at Goodwill for $2. Wow,
for $2.
They look immaculate.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. They got some stuff written on here. I need to try to get off with like a marker. I can't. There's like they wrote "air" or something quotation. So
those are not bootlegs, right? Because
no, they're real
bootlegs out. Those are real. Wow,
they're real Jordans.
That's crazy. No, yes. If those fit you, that is crazy.
They
that's
do.
A great deal.
They're my size. That's why I picked it up. I saw that there. And I was like, oh, okay.
I'm jelly. That's crazy.
I just need to get some new insoles for it and get new laces. But I ordered both of those, and after everything's said and done, I paid out of pocket $20 for them. So it's like, there we go.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
So yeah,
did you have some pickups this week, Dan Driver?
Yeah, I had a few actually. So none of them are extremely exciting. But first one is this is a Master System control pad. Now this was apparently a broken one that I just bought because I do have 2 control pads already. One of them is missing the D-pad. Whoever I bought it from, I think I got it in a bundle, but it was just like, these things have a habit of breaking off, and it happened to ours, and you end up with just the 4 dots, and people come up with all sorts of solutions. So I ended up with one that had just like a piece of plastic wedged in there as a makeshift D-pad, and obviously it's not the best. So this was sold as faulty. Got it for like £2, and
wow.
It seems to actually work. So all I was going to do was swap the D-pad out of it. But seeing as it works, it seems it's a bit of a bargain. So
just going to clean it up, maybe.
Yeah, just clean it up and enjoy a bit of Sega 8-bit. I've been flittering between the Master System and the Game Gear at the moment. It's not a pickup, but I've got my Game Gear here with the Master Gear converter. So that's it's like kind of this.
Did you mod that out, or is it just like the base one?
It's the base Game Gear with the base Master System converter, but you can play Master System games in there with that. It's it's the Switch before the Switch. Right. Play your home console games on the move. So you're well ahead of the game then. I also picked up this, again, pretty cheap. Now this is, I don't know if anyone's seen any of these. These are the 2K Sports Bibles. that they released for the 2K games in Japan. So when Sega were developing or kind of their sports series, obviously we had 2K, 2K1, and 2K2 for some of them. In Japan, they kind of put it in this double pack, and on the back you've got kind of this long sleeve on here, where you've got basically the game. And you've also got this booklet that's got all these stats and story, all in Japanese, of course, but they're really cool to have. It's still sealed. It was sealed when I bought it, and yeah, I haven't taken it out of the wrapper yet. It's pretty cool, but
you probably should. That's really cool. That's like it's like a giant. Is it like they're like two discs that are put together in cellophane, right? They're polythene.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's the top one here. The red one, I don't know if you can see it, but the red one is a book, and the blue one is the game.
Oh, that's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have those two all kind of bundled together, wrapped up as a collector's piece. I mean, it was, again, I got it for really cheap. It was just like, I don't know if people have established their value or their rarity yet, but yeah, I just thought it looked really cool, and I love my 2K basketball games, so I just thought, yeah, I've got to get that.
What's your favorite team?
It's the Lakers for me.
Lakers, of course. You got to pray to the house of Kobe, right?
That's it. Yeah. But it was.
I feel that though.
Last thing I picked up was this thing, and it's not strictly Sega related, but I bought it for a Sega related reason. This is, probably can't see it, but this is called the Kung Fu Flash 2.
Interesting.
It's basically.
Did you hold it up, like in front of you?
Yeah.
Over to your left. Yeah, there you go. Kung Fu Flash 2. What is this?
So this is a flash cart for the Commodore 64. It's pretty new.
Ooh, nice.
So there was the original Kung Fu Flash, which I've got here, which I'm now aiming to sell. That's just basically a flash cart like an EverDrive or a Saru. This is kind of more in common with Saru because it's brand new. They're still figuring a few things out. It's experimental, but yeah, I migrated all my games from the original cart over to this one, and there's one reason why I did that, and that's because this new cart can now emulate the expanded RAM cartridge that you used to be able to get with the Commodore 64, which is pretty rare.
Nice.
And the reason why that's important is because you need the expanded RAM cartridge to play the fan-made Sonic the Hedgehog port on the Commodore 64. So now that I've got that, I can finally play the 8-bit port of Sonic the Hedgehog on the Commodore 64. So
that can support both tape games and like cassette games, right?
Yeah, so it plays all sorts. So Commodore 64 could do carts, tapes, discs, and it had various disc drives. You had the 3.5-inch ones and the 3.5-inch ones. So they had various drives, and they all create various files. But it supports pretty much all of them out of the gate. So
nice.
It basically emulates whatever it is that you're trying to run on it, whether you're trying to run a disc or a tape. So if you're running a tape, like I have done for a few things, it still takes a little while because it's emulating the tape loading up. Yeah. But this one does load really fast though when you're using one of the disk drive images. So it's really cool. It loads Sonic like so quick. So at some point, I just want to knuckle down this weekend, and if I find time, I'm just going to play through 8-bit Sonic, one of my favorite games of all time. Just playing through it in a new way. It's a really cool port. I don't know if anyone's seen it.
I've not, unfortunately.
I've seen
I feel like I
video.
Have at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool, and obviously the C64 was my first games machine. So
really?
That's why, it's aside from the Sega stuff, it's got a special place in my heart. So things like the sound chip that it uses and the specific, it's got a specific aesthetic to it. And just seeing Sonic in that is like nostalgia inception for me. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah, Commodore 64 and Amiga chiptunes are amazing. Like I used to like download mod packs, or chiptune mod stuff, for Commodore 64, even though I never had one, because a lot of that music is incredible, especially like the just like the hacker scene, the demo scene that would put out such cool music for those machines.
That was the one with RoboCop, right?
Amazing.
Where the RoboCop like soundtrack got like really famous in the UK.
Yeah, there was like I don't think it was a tune from the actual soundtrack, but it was a tune that was in the game, and then it kind of got repurposed and reused, and it was actually featured in a commercial a few years later. But yeah, the Commodore 64 like SID chip scene, so the SID chip is the sound chip. It's always been pretty vibrant, and you get some really interesting stuff that comes out of there. So yeah, I'm not surprised, Dave, that you've been checking it out, even though, as you say, you haven't got that strong connection with the system itself, but the music just and the Amiga, both of them are amazing.
I mean, I have nostalgia for the monitor because I had a Commodore, believe it or not. My brother and I had a little Commodore 64 monitor that we had our Saturn hooked up to. That's like what my dad brought home to like have us play the Saturn in our bedroom. So it's funny. I had that, and like I've played some games that tried to emulate the Commodore 64, like games that are done in that spiritual style, So I definitely have a desire to go back and check out that stuff. But, I'll do it when I don't know. Maybe I never will.
When you're retired.
I wish that the things that the Commodore 64 just takes up so much and requires a lot of work, because you'd have, I guess you could do something like Dan does and get like the emulator thing and just get the emulator.
You can do it for the Mister, right?
Yeah, he has for Mister too. I have it on the Mister.
Yeah.
That's where I play it.
Murder of Crows in chat said, I hear the Commodore brand / company may have new owners soon.
Tommy Tallarico, baby. He's going to release the Commodore 64 Miko.
Awesome.
Oh, no.
I can't wait.
The Miko 64.
Manthrax, you got any pickups?
No physical pickups. I did get a game on Steam, though, and that was Stellar Blade, which came out a couple of days ago. I don't have a PS5. And I like games like Bayonetta, which is Stellar Blade's definitely heavily inspired, let's say, by games like Bayonetta. So it plays similarly to it, although you kind of have to like.
Isn't that the one where it's like the hot waifu game or whatever?
Yeah. It's you play as a hot waifu. She's an android, I believe, on like a ruined Earth that's been overcome by aliens. So you're slashing your way through aliens and stuff. So I played it for like an hour, a little over an hour on launch night. I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet today or yesterday, but it was cool. I liked it. It ran really well on my PC. It looked really good. It was fun. It was kind of hard, even though I set it to like the story difficulty. It's got like story and normal difficulties. Story basically being just like easy, you just want to experience the story, but like it was still kind of challenging. So but I got through. I beat the big boss, the first boss you get through. So it was fun. I'm looking forward to playing it a little more this weekend.
Hey, fair enough.
Pat, there's like a window popping up.
Oh yeah, no, I'm trying to give somebody some permissions. I couldn't find the one I was looking for.
Oh, I got you. Okay. What were you going to say?
Sold me on it, Dan. Saying that it's like Bayonetta is made me want to play it a bit more. I'm a massive fan of, especially the original. Yeah, no,
it's definitely got some of that DNA in it, because it very much emphasizes enemies are about to attack. They choreograph it a little bit with like a red flash, or just winding up with an animation, which I guess stuff like Dark Souls and whatnot do that too. But like. Then you want to like either block it or parry it, and you're parrying, and you can like kind of like dance around with your parrying even if they're not attacking you or whatever, and it feels a lot like Bayonetta doing her like cartwheels around enemies. So it's a little tough initially, but you get like upgrade points, which also is a little Bayonetta-ish. And they help you, either you can get new offensive moves, or they can upgrade your window for successfully doing like a perfect parry. And when you do it, like everything kind of slows down a little bit. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Not really. Awesome. Is it any easier than a Matthew parry or Steve parry?
Yes. Dragons of Saturn, thank you. Yeah, Bunny and I have today is also our anniversary. We've been together for 15 years. So
congrats, Stanolds. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Not doing anything super special today. Had to be on the show. I mean, I can't skip out on a show just for an anniversary, right?
It's like sorry, Pudgy. I know we had a wedding anniversary dinner planned, but I need to do the SHIRO show first.
She's grimacing at me somewhere probably, but yeah, she is gonna make a really good like shrimp and angel hair pasta dinner for us after the show, so that'll be good.
Sounds delicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe have a little wine.
Make sure to mail me a plate.
Yeah, I will. Might be a little cold though. Well, then again, if it's going to Arizona, it's going to heat back up.
Yeah, it'll be nice and warm by the time I open up. Nice like an oven. So it'll be delicious.
Perfect.
Delicioso.
So do we want to play the community section music?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
All right.
There we go. Let the music jam.
So do you want to mention the Sega Guys' 2 videos that you put up for everyone this week, Dan?
I kind of want to talk about one of them at least.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, Pat. It's a shame we couldn't get you in on that one. I know
you're just too late. Yeah, just like it's like it's like there's like last second. Like okay. So
you guys put up a podcast this week called "What Was the Best Year for Sega Fans?" and you did that with a couple of guys from Gaming for Ages.
Stupid ass.
So that was cool. And then you also did a
they...
video that you guys were talking about. Is it really master crafted? Sega returns to Warhammer 40K Space Marine.
That's right. Yeah. So the podcast. Funny story about that actually. We were going to record something with Gaming for Ages for the UK Sega Saturn 30th anniversary. So that's a podcast that we've got coming up. It's going the day before the Sega Saturn UK anniversary, and James has got a phenomenal video lined up for that. But I took a week off recording because my team were in Tottenham Hotspur were in the Europa League final, and I was like, James, do you mind if I watch this instead of record tonight? Which seemed like a good idea at the time, and then it dawned on us that we didn't have a podcast lined up.
Whoops.
so we said to the Gaming for Ages guys, do you mind if we do the Sega Saturn one next week if you're available? And this week we do this best Sega year. So it's a good chat. The 4 of us all pick a year that is our favorite year, and we kind of try and plead our case for what we think is Sega's best year, talking about our own memories, our experiences, what Sega did on the on console and in the arcade. And yeah, it's a good discussion overall. The Space Marine one. It's the first time we managed to cover a modern game for a while. Missed out on a couple this year, like Yakuza Pirates, just because of time and stuff like that. But because Space Marine was on Game Pass day one, and because it was on PC and Xbox Series X, I managed to play both, and I just thought got an opportunity to cover this for the channel. Loved the original game, and I just thought, I'm going to try and do a video on this. Managed to put it together pretty quickly and get it out just the day after the game released. So try to do a bit of everything in there. So it's a very brief history of kind of the game's development, how Sega basically pulled it from the corpse of THQ. And then we got some comparisons across the the original Xbox 360 version versus the new Mastercrafted version.
You give a little bit of history of Relic as well, which I liked. A little shout out Dawn of War.
Yeah, it was a good video. Both, and the podcast was good too. I listened to both of them this week, or watched them.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, so hopefully people can enjoy them. Pat, glad you enjoyed the Warhammer video. As I said, it was I was thinking I'd love to have got you on for a little bit of that, because I loved our Warhammer chat that we did last year.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know it was kind of like there's like communication issues on Discord, so it's kind of hard. Yeah. And it was like I didn't have time to play through they got my PS3 version of it, and then and then get this one bought and downloaded. Like, oh crap! So, but yeah,
speaking of modern Sega, did you guys see the not E3 presentation I made for Sega?
That was
unpaid
really cool.
Over the weekend. You're right. I guess put it out on Monday.
I gotcha. I'll have to get your video, get it up on here. Anthrax.
Yeah, I don't know. Like just the last couple of years, I felt like
band.
Sega could definitely have done their own like E3 or Sega Direct type of thing around this time of year with all the announcements that they always put out about new games and updates for games and stuff. And like I kind of like put together outlines in previous years of like what it would be. And this year, I guess I've just gotten enough experience messing around with video editing for SHIRO and Microsoft Clipchamp that I felt like, oh, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a shot. So I was really
Typical
surprised.
Sega.
What?
Typical Sega, let the fans do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then typical Nintendo, don't let the fans do anything having to do with our property.
Nope, none of it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I was surprised I didn't get a copyright, violation or anything, because it's all pretty much trailers that I stole off of different Sega YouTube channels, and then I put my own little like interstitials in between using like virtual racing music, because of course I did.
Right.
But
it makes sense.
Fun to put together.
If you got struck for that though, Dan, I think the Sega guys would have been torpedoed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be really annoying if you get like knocked off for trailers.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
But yeah, Sega had so much coming. I think they did most of it at the Summer Games Fest, but it's frustrating because they could easily put something together.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, like
they have the Virtua Fighter Direct that they did. It's like, why don't you just use that for all your stuff?
If they had a Sega Direct,
they know how to do it.
It would help hype them too, and more fans would. I think it would be great for them. They just haven't done it.
Yeah, like it would increase like the brand. I guess not
brand
just
awareness,
but also like putting that out there is like, this is what Sega is about in all of its games. It's like Sega isn't just Sonic and Yakuza. Like I like in my video I've got a section on Sega Europe. Well, yeah, they're Atlas, which I've got at the end there with a couple Persona things. But like they have the Sega of Europe projects where there was like the version 2.0s was announced for 2 Point Hospital or 2 Point Museum rather. So put that in there, and they announced the new mobile game from the Football Manager guys. It is sort of like a spiritual sequel to that Let's Make a Soccer Team game that started on the Saturn. So that was a neat announcement out of nowhere. They could have gotten more exposure for that.
Real point, you can use cameras for your box thing. I can't imagine that going bad at all. No one just like losing and just like spreading their butt cheeks on the camera.
Oh God, Pat. But you're not wrong though.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
Sega,
like, lose this.
They've always had a bit of a. I mean, I don't know if I would call it an identity crisis, but like not fully leaning into who they are and just being like, what the hell, like Nintendo, they know who they are, and they lean really heavily into that identity. And with Sega, they're like the anti-Nintendo. They're like the alternate for a lot of us to Nintendo. Not that we don't enjoy Nintendo, but it's like it's a completely different flavor, and what it is. And I think that they need to kind of unify the brand around all of those IPs and just kind of create more content that pushes their brand identity as who Sega is, to create a stronger brand that sends that message that, it's still awesome to love Sega, and more, younger kids should, be aware of Sega and get into Sega and stuff. Yeah. So it's like, thank you, Dan, for doing that. I wish Sega would do it, but maybe they're getting there. It's just slow going.
Yeah, I mean, they to be honest, they released a lot in the last couple months, so maybe they didn't have too much to like to sort of
it's a lot of little stuff that's disjointed is what I mean. Yeah, like whereas Nintendo, I feel like it has more of a unified front with all the stuff that they do, because they're so closed down, because they're so
Well, kind of my conceit was like, okay, if all the stuff they announced over the last like 30 days, they just like saved the Virtua Fighter stuff and saved the Persona 5 mobile game, or Persona 5X or whatever it's called. If they saved that, until it was like the first week of June and everybody else is putting out their E3 direct videos, like if they just saved all that stuff instead of kind of putting out piecemeal here and there, once or twice a week, then they could have put together a half-hour-long presentation like I did. So
waited or like released the Persona 4 remaster announcement like earlier.
Right, that's what I ended up making my like stinger, my one last thing type announcement at the end of my video, because that was kind of seemed to be Sega's big cool. Surprise announcement. So
that's pretty cool. I like Persona 4, so I'm gonna be interested to see what they switch up with it. Maybe they.
Yeah.
I don't know how they changed Persona 3, but I'm hoping that maybe they make the dungeons less RNG based. But maybe they might keep it for the remaster.
For that. For Persona 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be my replay of it.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
It does look
anyway,
really pretty.
Should we move on to the news for this week?
Yeah,
we have several things.
Yeah, we have
community.
We do have several things.
Community section for. Oh wait.
Oh yeah, there's one other community thing I wanted to mention. Well, yeah, we started the community section with the Sega Guys videos.
Okay.
And also, we wanted to remind everybody that one of our Discord members, Rinkrat, a member of the SHIRO community, is hosting an unofficial community challenge this month for Space Hulk Vengeance of the Blood Angels. And he is offering cash prizes. First place gets $20, second place gets $10.
Nice.
So, yeah, if you're interested in checking out that game and trying to see how fast you can run it, then by all means check out the community challenge channel on our Discord server.
See how fast you can kill those the Gene Stealers and bring glory to the Blood Angels.
Watching him do a playthrough for his channel was inspiring, because I always die really quick in that game.
Yeah.
I was just like, how are you surviving so long? And he's like, just keep hacking away at the. I don't know. There's definitely like a strategy to it, but he was like, when they try to grapple you, you just keep smashing the B button and then attack when they stop or something. I don't know. He explained it to me, and I'm like, okay, I got to give this another run, because I absolutely love that game. I love the atmosphere, the ambiance, the production value, the audio, the sound design, everything about that game I absolutely love, except I suck at it. I just get killed so quick, but it's got so much going for it, so I love that game. It's one of those games that's
last week.
What did you say?
Sorry, I was going to say when this challenge was announced. I think was it last week? Was it? I think it was last week, wasn't it? This challenge was announced. I was like, yeah, I could definitely win if it was who's going to die the fastest. But it's exactly as you were saying, David. It's a brilliant
just
game.
See the first Gene Stealer lose all your Terminators immediately. It's like cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I have a community announcement that is brand new. That before we move on, Pat, can you scroll up to the top of the website and click the menu, and under resources we have a new tab. We have a new page. No. Click the resources. Actually, I haven't added it to the resources page, but under there you'll see ODE comparison. Click on that.
Oh wow, this is neat.
Our friend Derek Pascarella, and with the help of Private Eye, and has compiled what I think will stand as a definitive comparison chart matrix, if you will, of all of the current ODE options for the Sega Saturn, including the date of release, who made them, what the relative cost is, whether they're available, whether all of the different features. So you can kind of go.
When did they finish this? I knew they were working on this just a couple days ago.
I literally just punched it up today. Like I talked to what was it? To Derek yesterday and said this would be great, and he was like, oh yeah, I was already kind of working on something like this, so he did like a spreadsheet, and then I just kind of copy pasted it into our website so it would match our website's format. It looks terrible on a smartphone so far because it scrunches everything together, but if you turn your phone sideways it works, or if you're looking at it on a PC it's much better, but I'll have to figure out like the formatting and stuff. But for the most part, it's like some folks may just want to make a beeline to the cheapest option available, which is totally valid. Some folks may want to weigh pros and cons and figure out what features work best for their specific needs. So, whether you are just discovering Saturn for the first time, or you're like a road warrior who takes it to cons, or you're a developer who's developing games for Saturn, there's going to be a device for you. It really just, and Derek made a really good point that like Phoebe and Rhea, even though they're so old, right? Like 100% compatibility with every commercial game. The one little tiny problem that they have, it has a patch for it. So 100% compatibility. And then they offer, they're the only devices that you can do everything that the Saturn is capable of, including like CD plus G, and audio CD and video CD and images. images, like just actual like VCD images on your ODE, right? And so there's a lot of like good arguments for those devices still. Some people say, oh, there's no point in having them, but I mean there are for some folks, so. And I think Derek it's a great thing that we got him to help with this, because he has multiples of all of these devices. I myself have multiples of quite a few of them. I just don't have a Rhea or a Phoebe. So I was really glad.
Kay said in chat, I've tried to tell you all that, I guess, about the Rhea and the Phoebe. Yeah.
I mean, you've tried, and I've heard you. I actually agree. It's so, I've never been one of those
it's
folks
not an issue.
like,
it's not an issue of it being good. It's an issue of the availability and the realistic about it.
So availability has always been a sticking point for a lot of folks, but again, it's a well-built device. If you could get your hands on it, you can still find them secondhand. I think that might be how Derek got his. I'm not sure though, but either way, solid device. Pat, you have one. You said it's like a workhorse, right? It just works.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's been a good work. Like I said, there's only little issues here and there, which is the CCD image sub issue, and the availability is the biggest drawbacks. But like I remember doing the game competition. It was one of the ones that ran pretty much everything for the homebrew competition that everyone else had issues with on other ODEs. Like, I think you were trying to use the mode. I remember you were struggling with a lot of them, but it's like I'm like, oh, they pretty much all work besides like the pony game. But yeah, like I said, there's like it's definitely up there as one of my favorites. Like I said, there's just little caveats, of course, right now, but like nowadays, it's like, man, I still can't believe that that all three of the Free Mode and Satiator released in 2020. That's nuts. That was all in 1 year. Holy shit.
It was like beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year. Satiator was released in December, like around my birthday, end of December. So technically 2021, but I mean, it was technically 2020. And they rolled out the betas in early 2020, like March of 2020. So I mean, they had the betas out there, and then it went to market in 2020. So I was just being accurate. But yeah, there's little things. There's little things on there, like the fact that Satiator doesn't have true like in-game reset without the use of like menu Kai, right? Like with menu Kai, it has it, but not in the stock menu. And some folks are going to want to know that. Some folks are going to want to know, like, if they already own a device, they can go down this list and kind of see like all the things that it can do and what it can't do and what they can expect of it and stuff like that. So anyway, it's a really cool thing. It's not final, because you never, like I told Derek, I was like, feel free to add to it and take away as you see fit. Things change down the road, compatibilities and stuff like that.
I think we should have a little like article on the site just calling out that this is here now.
Yeah, we will. I just published this page like right before I left work.
Okay.
So cool. I wanted to mention it here just so that we shouted Derek and gave him credit for the man hours.
Thank you to Derek and Private Eye for making this.
For sure. And Chapel too, in our Discord server, who does a lot of Saru stuff.
He helped with the Saru. That's right.
Yeah, so he provided some insight on the Saru side. But yeah, all things told, I think we have a pretty good amount of information there, and if there's anything else that folks think needs to be added to the list in terms of features, that's totally doable and easily done. So
you're gonna have to add that the new Fenrir once that drops.
The which new Fenrir?
The new Fenrir version that's dropping, apparently that's in the works.
Okay.
Wasn't there a new one in the works, whatever?
Speaking of that, I don't have links to clones on here because, like, again, like folks can go look for clones on their own, but we don't want to officially. Not only do we not want to officially support them, but I don't want to link to any clones, so that folks don't end up with something that's just gonna potentially fail on them. So we've got links to the creators' sites or their social pages, and we've got links to their GitHubs and links to where you can buy them officially. But yeah, so good stuff. Thanks.
I think
to
all
Derek
of them are in stock right now too, besides obviously the Fenrir, or sorry, no, the Rhea and Phoebe. The Fenrir actually is in stock on Stone Age Gamer.
Stone Age Gamer, you can get it on Stone Age Gamer. You can get it on it in the UK, and you can get it in Germany. There's like 3 different sites where you can buy Fenrir. You just can't buy it directly through SED anymore. Like he used to sell it through his own website, but he doesn't do that anymore.
That's right for the best.
Well, He's he's still going to sell it. I think he discounted all the ones that he had. Right. He like slashed the price and then they sold out. I think that was just to clear out stock because he's going to have the new revision.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what it was. Yeah, I think he was clearing out his old inventory so that he could stock up on the new ones.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to get the new one to review it once that comes out.
There is info on Wooxie there, like compatibility with, like you can keep your CD drive if you have the Wooxie, which we're going to talk about later in the show. But I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff, lots of cool stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, but no, if anybody ever asks which ODE to get, here's your definitive answer.
That was the idea too. Is like, if we're arguing, I mean, if it comes down to an argument or like just wanting to see, just the facts and just be like, here, look at this article and decide for yourself. And if the answer is you don't really need a whole bunch of bells and whistles and you just want to play games, I mean, like something like the Saru might be all you need, really. Like, if you want to play, if you're an enthusiast and you want to have access to everything the Saturn can do, you need like CD plus G and stuff like. Maybe you have a bunch of karaoke discs and you want to use them on your Saturn, right? That's a use case for sure. And so I can see people needing like a Ray or a Phoebe for that. Mode can also, I believe he said Mode can also do CD plus G and some of those other formats.
And it does support like an SSD compared to the other ones that require all micro SD cards. So there's really benefit for all of these, like a reason to get any one of these ones.
And there are like political reasons to not, for example, some folks might not want to buy from Terra Onion, for example, but as we move on and as these devices end up on the secondhand market and people get so far removed from, situations like that, they just needed to know what something does, and whether or not they should buy it or not. You know what I mean? So it's good to have this information out there and people can make their own decisions about what they want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to laugh just now when when someone's coming in saying, "Oh, what ODE should I get?" And as you said, Pat, they've all got their own benefits. Buy them all, get all of them.
Get a collection of ODEs. Be the king of ODEs.
That's normal.
Exactly. I mean, hey, people have bought weirder stuff for the Saturn, so I can't. Who am I to argue about getting different ODEs?
But I will say, from purely from a like a perspective of us running that Sega room over at PRGE, we ran out of ODEs. We were like, does anybody have any more ODEs? So like you can never have too many, right? Because when you're running a convention with like 30 Saturns, you would be amazed how you end up begging your friends for like, can I borrow your ODE?
Jeez.
So it does happen. I have got a couple Sarus. I've got a Fenrir and a Satiator and a Mode, and but I don't have a Phoebe or a Rhea because I didn't get on that bandwagon early enough.
All right. Well, should we get into the news now?
Sure. Okay. Let's get the news segment music rolling. That blasting. Okay, then let's get those hot new sexy articles out.
Yeah, our top first headline of the week here was Mario Kart 64 is getting a fan port to the Dreamcast. This one was written by Gregory Rasputin.
This one is nuts. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
This one's going to be sweet. So for the people that don't know, Mario Kart, actually a bunch of N64 games have recently been decompiled. So for people that don't know what that is that it's basically they've been taking the actual N64 code or the N64 ROM and decoded it to like source code, so that way it could be built for different platforms like Dreamcast or other consoles. I think the first famous one was Super Mario 64 got decompiled, and therein especially all these tools and stuff that you can sort of reverse engineer. There've been more and more games, like they had Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask that got decompiled, and I believe Mario Kart 64 is the newest one. Which, it's like unbaking a cake, if for people that aren't familiar code-wise. But yeah, they're basically giving you all this, and you can make a cake from the cake. You can decompile that and make a donut or some bread or taco if you want.
This is being worked on by Falco Gurgis.
He was the one that did the the GTA 3 and Vice City ports, I believe. Well, the GTA 3, I don't know if he did Vice City. I think he did Vice City.
Yeah, I think he worked on both of them.
He did, but I think this is actually being done by J.M. Martin. I'm not sure if Falco is directly involved with this port himself. He might be, but J.M. Martin's actually doing the port. But yeah, it's I'm really looking forward to this one. Mario Kart 64, it's a great game.
They put some,
and Gregory has in his story. Yeah, J.M. Martin was responsible for the Doom 64 and Wipeout ports to the Dreamcast that we've gotten recently. So sorry about that.
Amazing. The Wipeout port was absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm personally super excited for Mario 64 since that's my favorite 64 game, Mario Kart game.
Yeah, that was one of the 2 games that I got with my N64 for Christmas in 1997. Was this and Star Fox? So I have a lot of good memories playing the crap out of Mario Kart 64.
And
they already have it running really well. The videos that they put out it's just really, really cool to see.
Yeah, we're playing it right now. It shows the only really big issue is some graphical issues on it. Like the portraits are kind of messed up, and
and the like whooshy like air sprites that are supposed to appear when you're kind of going fast. Theirs are kind of distorted a little bit. Some of the
because they have the source code, he should be able to optimize it for the Dreamcast, right? It's just a matter.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, man. I hope Bo Bales or somebody in the community is able to someday, decompile Sonic World from Sonic Jam. Because man, if you take those assets and just build out a bigger game from it, and then add in the special stage from Sonic 3D Blast, like the pipe running stage.
Yeah, there you go.
You have yourself a real Sonic game on the Saturn. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's like Shadow Mass said, it's like unbaking a cake and getting like the raw ingredients back, getting like the dry flour and everything. That's kind of what it's like. And years ago, go ahead.
Sorry, Dave. I was going to say, I think the progress on here, I was speaking to James, I speak to James all the time anyway, but James was messaging me about this specifically earlier on, and it seems like there's been actually some really good progress made. I think all of these graphical glitches that you're seeing in the video now, in the latest build, are pretty much gone. So I think there's still no sound, which is why when you watch this footage, I think it's got Sonic R soundtrack playing while that plays, which is cool, I might if it keeps the Sonic R soundtrack, I won't be complaining.
I think it'd be really fun if they do.
It should at least be an option,
Well,
I imagine they can do mods for it.
Level, it'd be a Rainbow Road level.
Yeah.
You can.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's coming along really nicely. So it sounds like James obviously is itching to try and get his hands on it. So hopefully we'll be able to get as soon as there's a version that J.M. Martin's happy to release to the wider public, we'll get our hands on it and we'll try and share our views on it. But it looks fantastic.
I'd be down. I'd love to do a stream of this. I wish they can maybe find a way to do multiplayer on this, like online. That'd be like really fun. I know that's probably a giant pipe dream in itself, but if you could somehow get this online, that'd be really funny if you and me could just play some Mario Kart and Dreamcast.
Well, that's the thing. If you have the source code, I imagine that it wouldn't be impossible, Yeah. It's always harder to make, it's always harder to crack that stuff in after, like the way they do with the action replay, like the way X-Band works, It's like kind of cracking the game after the fact. But I mean, if you have the source code, you can build online in from the get-go. Yeah, so the more folks start to do this stuff, and like you said, Dan, I'm not surprised that he has all that stuff worked out, because with the Wipeout thing, we saw like an early build of that and it was just terrible, and then like within a week or something it was like perfectly running, and I was just like, wow, this guy works fast. So
he's amazing. Stuff that he does, and James speaks to him and Falco on Discord, and like I think there was kind of when Wipeout was really far along, it was in a really good state, and I think most of us thought it was perfect, but J.M. Martin was still kind of picking holes in it, and I think there was a one single glitch in Polygon that you could only see if you're doing it in reverse mode. And no one else had spotted it, but he was zeroing in on it until he was like obsessed with it until he found it. I mean, that's the sort of that's his kind of level of quality that he's used to. So yeah, I think it's a good reason to get excited about this one, because once Jan Martin's happy with it, then it'll be in a really good place.
Nice.
No, for sure. I'm super excited to give it a shot. It's gonna be a ton of fun, and I think if we'd get this online, that'd be amazing. Dreamcast online, this is gonna be nuts.
So, moving on, our next one is from Bo Bales. It's his latest Under the Microscope piece, and this one is on 2 games this week: Strikers 1945 and Sengoku Blade, which are both Psycho shooters.
Great games. Love Psycho so much.
Yep, fantastic. I did actually try out the Strikers 1945 code this week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, had a play around with it because I do like Strikers 1945, but like most shoot 'em ups, I'm pretty bad. So I did like putting on the no fail or the kind of the invincibility mode just to play around with some of the later levels.
He found a bunch of codes for Strikers 1945, didn't he?
Yeah.
It looks like there's a few of them. Like there's even a test mode you can get into. There's like I said, there's a little test mode, like the different stages you can teleport to. I think there's a skip cheat code.
Yeah, level skip,
and allows you to activate a no death mode. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
a couple different cheat codes. They're kind of long, so we won't read them out on the show here. Just check out his latest article on Sega Saturn.
Well, actually, let me read it out live. No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to do that. I learned my lesson from last week, so.
Yeah, last week it got a little in the weeds there with the technical stuff. He always loads his articles with good technical stuff, but it's a little dry to talk about on the show, I guess. But we can at least talk about what we think about what he found.
All the computer scientists probably liked it.
That's true. That's why he writes it.
So I'm guessing this is why I did both of them, because the test menu from Strikers 1945 is also in a Sengoku Blade as well.
Yeah.
Same thing, which makes sense because a lot of these games use the same sort of board in the arcade and use the same development technique. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just copied and pasted the base for 1945 for Sengoku Blade or vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's the same cheat code too. I think it might be.
I think so. I mean, if you play both games, I'm pretty sure that the menus and the option screens and everything is pretty much almost identical. Like the way that you select your difficulty and select your kind of the you can have it in Tate mode, and you can have various like screen setups. I'm pretty sure they're almost identical between the two games. So it doesn't surprise me that they're so similar. I will say that when I put that code in, I thought there's no way I'm going to get this right first time with however it's like 40 button presses, but it's actually quite straightforward. So if anyone thinks, if everyone's looking at that code and thinking, oh god, I can't type all this crap, it's actually not that bad.
We believe in you.
The games were developed. The games were developed almost simultaneously too, so that would probably by different teams, but yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of code shared between the two. So if folks want to find Bo, where can they find him? They Rings of Saturn blog.
Yep, Rings of Saturn.
And they should definitely check out his Substack. There's a lot more information. He puts a lot more stuff on there. So if you're into the technical stuff, and you can also read about PlayStation games and Dreamcast games. He was on a recent Sega Lounge episode with Casey, so check that out too. We mentioned it last week, but if folks missed it, they should definitely check it out because it's a lot of fun. Yeah, Radio Sega. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was fun. And he was on. And
Shadow Mouse put up a link in
too.
Yes, thanks, Shadow. Appreciate it.
Good. So yeah, thank you, Bo, for looking at those couple of games and putting some new cheat codes out into the world that
cheat
seemingly
codes,
no
my
one
favorite.
knew about. Yeah. Useful cheat codes.
Useful and nude. I'm down.
I don't know about nude. I said new. Pat, please.
Come on, give me those new cheat codes.
That'll be a homebrew patch later.
Lara Croft nude code.
The one that makes you explode.
I think Peter's still waiting for that.
We leaked it.
Right.
So, Dave, do you want to talk about your Wooksy article now?
Sure. The one that Dan pretty much made me write.
I did not make you write it. I just harassed you until you told me, "Oh, I won't write something." Yeah, I won't write something until they actually sell one of these things.
True,
and then
right?
the very next day after you
like,
said that,
it's like, where's the article, Dave? You said you were gonna do it.
Yeah.
See, my journalism senses were tingling. I knew
this existed as kind of like a do-it-yourself, like a DIY. All the plans were there, 3D files. You could order the PCB yourself, through like PCBWay or whatever. But there's like 3 different PCBs, and then there's a bunch of wires and stuff. So like I don't know how many. The barrier to entry was pretty high. Let's just put it that way. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I don't know how many. We wrote a previous article that kind of went over what this was and what it would be. But until it's something that I think most people could just like pull the trigger on and buy, with a little guide on how to install it, I didn't think that it would be accessible enough. But lo and behold, like Dan sends me this link. Well, now you can write the story because this guy, Helder Silva of Helder's Game Tech just announced that he's made a bunch for sale on his shop. So yeah, WEEKLY is an ODE switcher that works for the Rhea, the Phoebe, and the Fenrir, and allows and there was some talk about it potentially working for mode as well, but I don't think that that's the case as it is right now. But it supports all pin types, but I think that that still excludes the Saturn Navi. Sorry, guys, but I don't think anybody was going to do anything to their Saturn Navi.
Well,
like
you don't want to you don't want to RGB mod it and then get a mod for the switching thing.
Yeah, so if you already own a Rhea or a Phoebe or a Fenrir, and you had to take your drive out, but you kept it, well, you could put it back in now because this allows you to switch between the two. And it's nice how you can still have your VCD card inserted, and it has this nice little header over the VCD card that has the switch and then like the TF card slot and little lights that tell you, whether it's ODE or CD. And you can switch between them. It's like hot switchable, So it's really cool, and it's quite affordable, all things considered. Well, I just realized that I didn't put the price here, but I'm going to his shop,
Dave,
and it looks like. Sorry,
Dave, please.
Please what?
How could you forget the?
How could I forget to put the price?
It's free. $45. He'll send it to you for free now.
$45 for the boards and the wires, and then $5 for the 3D printed part, which, by the way, comes in 2 different sizes. So basically, because Saturns have several revisions, the fitment isn't like the fitment that T-Punix came up with, or was it T-Punix? No, I'm sorry. I don't want to miss TZMWX, right? Yeah. He created the 3D printed files, and they're a little tight in certain Saturns. So Helder went ahead and created a slightly thinner version, and it's kind of like your mileage may vary. But you have the choice to choose the original one and have like a really tight fit, or choose the one that he made, which is just a little looser, but allows for just a bit. I mean, when I'm talking loose, we're talking like 0.5 millimeter, but it's like enough that it makes a difference, So yeah, there's options there. And what this is going to allow you guys to do is switch between your ODE and your CD drive, and there's like a demonstration there, and there's also some notes on installation. Certain things that you should be aware of, but for the most part, it's a solderless mod.
It just seems like it's a bit of a pain to do.
Sorry, Pat?
The only thing, it just looks like a bit of a pain to set everything up.
It definitely. I think that again, I don't know exactly how big the market is for this. I do think it's like a niche market, but it's cool that it exists. And again, we like listed it on that matrix because it is a feature, and folks who already invested in these other ODE options may want to take this for a spin. Also, because Will's Saturn switcher is no longer available for sale.
I was just gonna say.
That was an option for folks with a Fenrir. Yeah, it's nice that this exists, and it works for all pin types, pretty much provides for all situations, and I think that's pretty cool.
That's cool. I was worried that would be blocking the CD port, the the CD disc port, but it actually doesn't, or the video CD card.
The video CD port, yeah. No, it just sits on top.
Oh, that's good.
It just sits on top. It is kind of a set it and forget it kind of thing. Like I think once you did this, you probably wouldn't be going back inside for, unless you decided to just completely return the machine to stock or something like that,
Yeah.
But reason. Yeah. But anyway,
that's
cool.
really cool though. It's really definitely making me think about getting it for mine and seeing how that works.
Yeah, you think I'm
definitely interested.
Maybe.
I mean, put it on the SHIRO account. I mean, it's $45. You try if you want to do it and then write about it. What your experience is and stuff like that. I'd be down to see. I'm not going to do it because I don't have a Ray or a Phoebe, but you do. So I think it would probably. I mean, technically, I have a Fenrir, but I don't have it installed in anything right now.
Yeah, I have a Fenrir for my other one. I could probably install it in that, and that way I can.
Yeah.
Have a disc one in case I need to do bugging or something like that.
Yeah, I think it would be neat if you got it. If you're willing to do the work and put it in,
It doesn't look impossible. It just looks like it's a pain to get everything sorted and put it in there.
You paint Warhammer dollies, so I think you could handle this.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I definitely think so. I think I just need to get my little headset, my paint headset, and make sure I don't mess anything up.
Yeah, there's like one wire that, now let's see here. If you have, what was it? It's necessary to solder jumpers on the Wooxie board in order to leverage Fenrir's open lid detection or Rhea Phoebe's disk swap feature. So that's one thing. It's also necessary to solder a wire on the Rhea Phoebe board to another point on the Rhea Phoebe board itself in order to preserve the above mentioned disk swap. So you may have to do that. But that's other than that, it's solderless. And the Wooxie draws 5 volts power by sticking a pin included, into one of the little power output slots on the PSU. That's how it draws its power. So yeah, all told. Oh yeah, Kay says, or Shadow Mask says, installing this on a VA0 would be tough. And yeah, that really would be tough. Speaking of his VA0, shouts to Peter Malik, who recently picked one up and rescued it from the junk heap.
Oh yeah.
He picked it up and he told a little story in the chat about how it was like Discord. It turned out it was like a first launch revision. Like it was bare bones, like first run, VA0, and it had like it was very, very convoluted internals, but he was able to like fix it and I guess kind of make it so that the door close thing was recognized better, because I guess those didn't always work great.
Is that like his 30th Saturn? I remember seeing pictures of his drawers of Saturns.
I'm pretty sure Peter has more than 30 Saturns, Pat. I think Peter
more than 30. Holy
only 30.
Shit.
More than 30. Yeah, more than 30. The only person I know that probably has more is Sega Steve.
Well, because isn't he collecting like all the different board revisions?
Yeah, I mean, Sega Steve is collecting like every board revision. If it exists.
Peter.
Oh, is Peter doing that officially?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing it officially, but I know that he was on a quest to kind of identify all the board revisions and what makes them different, So yeah, but no, I think Peter is just like, anytime he sees a Saturn for cheap that's like listed as junk, he feels a duty to like bring it back from the dead, and put it into service, That's what he said. So anyway.
Well, speaking of Peter, our next article on the site is written by him. It's
Mr.
this week's
Peter.
Best of Saturn.
Yeah, Dragons of China. Wow, we had Dragons of China, Dragons of Saturn. What's the other one?
Tales of Saturn.
Tales of Saturn. We have a lot of dragons and tales.
Yes, we do. Who wants to read this one?
I guess I could take it. So this immediately when I saw this article, I just saw these two guys looking like the Blues Brothers. So
yeah,
Japan's obsession with the Blues Brothers still perplexes me to this day. I'm guessing it's got a really good. They really like that movie Blues Brothers.
I mean, they also love Columbo and all kinds of other stuff. So you wouldn't expect. Anne of Green Gables.
It was imagine heading.
Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah.
Sorry, weeds.
It's so good.
Yeah, weeds.
Weed. It's not legal there. So imagine heading to China to learn about the 9 mythical dragons, only to discover that one has awakened and he's evil. And apparently he's the Blues Brothers now. As Foreigner Ken, your task in Imagineer's 1997 graphic adventure visual novel, Dragons of China, is to seek the remaining 8 dragons and gain their help in sealing away the ancient winged terror. Visuals consist of still screens presenting a unique anime style. Kind of reminds me of Crayon Shin-chan, almost.
Yeah,
in some
bit.
weird bits, in a weird way. And the adventure revolves around talking to various characters and making choose-your-own-adventure decisions. With an intriguing, fully Japanese storyline, and even some very light combat, this is a good one. Unfortunately, full Japanese, no translation, so good luck playing it. It's kind of a shame.
To hold your phone up to the TV with Google Translate app.
Get a little stand for that.
Mm-hmm. You ever heard of this one, Dan?
It's not one that I've played. I've heard of it, but I've never. It's not one that I've played. No, it's kind of. I think it's the Japanese, the language barrier for me. I think that's always kind of given me pause to picking it up, or even
I had never even heard of this before Peter wrote about it. So another new one to me.
Yeah, so this is really, really cool looking. I definitely would love to give it a shot if I had a translation of it. The thing I like showcasing these is that I always showcase it, and then somebody will do like a translation thing or see if it's possible to do it. So I always think that's kind of funny. So I love showing these off because it inspires people to maybe translate a game that they think's unique and might want to give it a shot. So I guess a lot of the translations we have to really thank Peter for in the end of the day.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we do.
Peter's the GOAT. Alrighty, so I think this is our last article, I think, right?
Yes.
Alrighty, so this is a Manthrax the Danthrax one. A Saturn Core update adds to the Mister's main branch. So this has been a hot minute, right? Right, Dan? It's been a hot minute since they updated this.
Yeah, last time the main branch for the Mister got Saturn updates was 5 months ago in January. So that's been a pretty good number of updates since then that have been in the Unstable Nightlies channel on the Discord. They're like test builds, basically, with all the updates. And so a lot of that is now available to everyone who just kind of like uses their Mister a little more casually and hits update all every once in a while just to like download all the main branch cores with their latest updates. So now the Saturn is part of that. Also, the STV Titan, the arcade version of the Saturn, now is officially on the main branch as an arcade core.
No, that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a new development too. That's pretty cool. Good to see. The developer, Sergey SRG320 Dvodnenko, kind of commemorated the update with another post on his Patreon page where you can support him. He listed more updates than we've got in our story here because I just list the stuff since the last time I wrote about it 2 months ago in April. It's already been 2 months, and really there hasn't been a ton of stuff since then, just because he's getting real close to having this thing perfect, like as close to perfect as you can get on hardware emulation. One of the people he works with frequently, Zet Sensei, who is frequently talking in the official Mr. Discord server, he said that the core works fine now after years of work, and it's just missing a couple of quirks of the hardware. He mentioned the SCU interrupt timings and some extreme cases of 64-bit division on the division unit that the Saturn core is still not emulating. Those are corner cases, and maybe he'll get to those soon too. But I mean, he's already addressed quite a few corner cases, as we'll see in a minute. And you know, a lot of this work that he's done on the SH2, Zet Sensei brought this up, that it's going to be helpful with the Sega 32X or Mega 32X core and emulating that on the Mister. And it's going to create a solid baseline for the SH2 module for future arcade boards that use the SH2 as well. So this work that he's done on the Saturn core over the last few years is going to be helpful on other things as well.
Yeah, it seems like there's some issues with it too for some display issues. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, so the Mister, the main branch got updated with the Saturn core yesterday, and people pretty quickly found that there were some weird visual glitches happening with it when they used that main branch version of the core. I've got a screenshot off to the right here on my story of like one of the worst looking ones. There were some resolutions looked better than others. And I guess this is just happening if people set their VSync adjust to 0, which is one of the parameters in the main Mr. menu. And this is happening not just people using scalers, but also just plain HDMI cables as well. So it was that since they actually kind of figured out what the problem was. There's some kind of a compilation issue with the with getting the main branch update ready. So he recompiled it. Yeah, and he pushed it to push an update today to the main branch, and I believe that this display issue should be resolved. So if you downloaded this yesterday, Thursday, June 12th, if you're not watching this live, and you were having these display issues, just do update all again, and it should be fixed, hopefully.
Should be good to go. Okay, that works.
But yeah, so a few of the updates over the last couple of months have actually been prompted by Homebrew. Pointing out things that were a problem, like Fafling did that awesome patch to fix Saturn Doom. She entered into the Sega Stream Homebrew competition, and when you tried to run that on Mister, there wouldn't be any floors, and like there would be other problems with some of the sprites and stuff.
A little bit of an issue there.
Yeah, I've got a screenshot there showing that it doesn't look great. An update that SRG 320 pushed to the branch was an update that fixed the clipping for normal and scaled sprites, which is causing a problem. So now it's fixed. That was something you didn't know about with just the retail games. But Fafling was working some magic. Another couple of developers that worked some magic in Homebrew was Frogbull and VBT, who of course did the Shenmue back in Yokosuka game for the Homebrew competition. And they were doing something that, this is kind of funny, the official Saturn developer documentation said should be impossible to do, which is accessing VDP2 registers by bytes. Normally, you can only access it using larger chunks of bytes called words or long words in programming parlance. And it like explicitly says, I've got a screenshot there, access in bytes is not allowed. And yet it apparently is possible because Shenmue was doing it. And so that was causing some issues. SRG himself said on GitHub, it's very interesting. The game uses byte access to the VDP2 registers, but the documentation says that this is impossible. I have never seen this in any official game.
Yeah. So for people that are not like in the know for technology, a lot of the things like the byte access, it'd be like the equivalent of you need to say welcome to be able to access it, and instead they're just saying yo and they're accessing it. So it's just a smaller amount of data set, like an eight numbers instead of like 16 or 32 or something massive for that. So
right. Yeah.
With all these special headers, so they bypassed all the formality completely and just like yo or in or something like that. So
yeah, it's very like fine grain updating of the VDP2 registers, and I mean the official documentation said you're not allowed to do it, and they did it anyway, and it's apparently possible. So Dvodnenko probably saw that documentation and said, oh, well, it says access in bytes is not allowed, so I won't emulate that. It must not be possible.
It really wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me if that was a mistranslation and maybe they meant not recommended.
Yeah, it might be not recommended. And that makes me wonder why. What does accessing VDP2 registers in bytes really potentially cause problems with? Who knows? But either way, it's not possible on the Mister.
Like I said, that's the thing with the manual. Why a lot of people had issues with it is because the developer thing, because they say that it's poorly translated. So more than likely, they probably could have done a lot more cooler stuff. But the way it was worded was it's impossible. You can't do it. Versus it's not recommended as it was in Japanese. So I think that's the issue with the documentation for the Saturn development is that you're either learning on the fly or working on a manual that's not true in the slightest in some aspects, which really sucks.
So yeah, if you have a Mister, hit update all and get the latest updates if you haven't been grabbing them off of the Discord as they've come out. And if you're thinking about getting a Mister, or like one of the Taki Udon Mister Pies, which are a little bit cheaper,
now, but
still work great. Oh, they sold out right now. He makes more.
Let me double check. Yeah,
no.
I'll double check. I'm pretty sure it's sold out.
He'll make more
though for the. But he's working on the PS1 looking one. But apparently there's been issues with the whole tariff situation.
Oh. Yeah, that thing.
So
you wouldn't have to worry about that, Dan.
Yeah, he just had to worry about Brexit. So.
Yeah.
But it looks like you can. It looks like you've put down a pre-order for the Super Dock, which is the whole Super in one. Oh, maybe it is back in stock. Yeah. Oh, it's in stock right now. Nice. Okay. There's a new stock for it. So if you guys want to go buy one right now, you can for $190 for the full set. Or if you guys want to go cheap, I imagine they have the kit that's just the regular one. That's just the board. Oh no, they don't have the board one by itself right now, but. They have the full kit for $190, which honestly is a great deal. Like,
yeah, I have one of these, and I like the case being on it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely beats it before when it was like a $400 investment to get everything. Now it's just like $190, which is a killer deal. So I would highly recommend that if you can get that, or if you have the money.
Yeah, and if you get one, then the Saturn cord is going to work great. You'll be able to throw your bin cues on there or whatever, and just play from the comfort of wherever you put your Mister.
Yeah, set it up, do the install thing, run the update all script, and you're good to go. Just put your ROMs on and you're good.
Analog Black Sheep's in chat. There's the Mister Multi-System 2 from Heber that came out recently. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too. I'm gonna look at that Mister Multi-System 2. I'll do some Googling on that, but
okay.
Yeah, I've unfortunately not. Apparently there's pre-orders. Yeah, I'm seeing it right here from Baba Retro RGB. Like I said, it's in the UK. I've not seen this one yet. Pre-order now. Trying to see. Ooh, that is a pricey meatball though. That's about 252 euros, which I think that's about $300, $350 in American dollar dues. But yeah, it's a really nice looking case. It's really sexy. I don't, like I said, I don't know much details.
It's like an Amstrad.
It kind of does, yeah.
It does.
But yeah, if you guys want it, here it is. I
like how all
Come
the
and get it.
Are all lined up on the front. Because that's one thing that's kind of weird about my my Taki Udon Mr. Pie is that like the USB ports are just all over the place. They're on every side. So.
Like the bodies of my enemies all over the place.
Can the Mister play Mr. Bones? Yes, Neil Henderson, it absolutely can. 100%.
It can, but I don't recommend it.
Pat doesn't recommend it.
I recommend the only thing from Mr. Bones is garbage can.
It's just spelled differently. It's Mr. Bones. It's like different spelling.
MIST.
Yeah. Great dad joke.
I know, right? Well, you can. That's why I'm here. So I've got one more update before we. It wasn't article worthy because it's not like that big of an update. But I just wanted to shout the folks at Advent Softworks. They got greenlit on Steam for Linear S.
Ooh,
I guess they had an issue with like the Japanese kanji, and they were like, it needs to be an English name or something. But I don't know. They got it figured. They got it worked out, and so it was greenlit. In the meantime, some exciting news is I've just been talking to Daniel Sato, the main developer, and he said he's really kind of going back to the drawing board with the physics for each car because ultimately he wants it to be arcadey, right? And he wants all of the cars to be balanced enough that kind of like in Sega Rally, you could win with the Delta or you could win with the Celica, depending on how much time you put in, He wants it to be similar like that with these JDM vehicles. He wants you to be able to jump in any car, and if you work really hard at mastering that car's handling, they're going to be fairly balanced across the board. But rather than having every car be similar, like the EG, like the Civic, It's front wheel drive, so it's not going to be able to drift the same way that like the RX-7 will. It's going to be more like a power slide situation. So he's kind of going back to the drawing board and kind of like with the Evo, having more front. What do you say? Evo looks cool drifting, but front traction should cut the lateral impulse earlier. He's getting like really technical with this stuff, but I mean, he's going back and kind of making tweaks to each car to make it feel inspired by the original vehicle, not just in the way that it looks, but also in the way that they kind of handled, or the way you would expect them to handle. And also adding a couple unlockable vehicles to the game as well. Some that folks would probably imagine would be missing from the roster so far, but they may be unlockable. He just doesn't want to spoil it for folks. But again, this is Linear S, which is yeah, who knows? I don't know. Maybe a tofu delivery vehicle. I don't know. I don't know. But,
might be a tofu related car. Maybe.
But again, yeah, like they want to make this as much of a Sega inspired racer as possible, with a bunch of different things and unlockables and funny things that you can do and good music and so they're taking their time, but I think that it's going to be, it is some folks get really stuck on the whole, oh well, it's not running on a real Saturn, and I mean, I guess that's most of the games that come out on Steam are not running on a real Saturn. Maybe one day it might. Maybe one day it might. He said, they keep saying, well, it's like if somebody wants to make it, it's cool. Like take the assets and build it around Saturn, or maybe he could one day when he isn't currently trying to release it on Steam. But again, it would be a complete rewrite.
Hopefully we get some Steam codes and play that. Or at least get a demo of it early.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we will. At least he's hinted at that much, that he wants to make sure that we could take a look at it first. But
that'd be nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun, and I really think folks should wishlist it if they're on Steam. It looks amazing, and
I probably should get it up for the people.
Which game are they talking about? Rain asked.
Oh, Linear S. Let me get the
Linear S. Which is a spiritual, tribute to Saturn racing games, specifically
Here it is right here.
Saturn racing games.
I probably should have put it up.
They're developing it to use quads, and
they're limiting
like a
it.
Saturn game.
They're limiting the polygons per second. It's 30 frames per second target. It's specifically for use with a Saturn controller via either a Retrobit or an
M83 or whatever.
Yeah. You can use any controller, but you have to use a controller because it's not a keyboard thing. They don't want you using the keyboard. You got to use a gamepad, because it's like that kind of racer. But yeah, USB or Bluetooth, what have you, will work. But they recommend a Saturn pad if you have a USB Saturn pad or one of the Bluetooth Saturn pads. Yeah, so
it's the best.
Yeah, no, you can.
Yep.
It looks like it's gonna have support for Japanese and English, so that's pretty cool.
That's right. It'll be in Japanese and English, and it'll have a 3-gear shifting system, which kind of focuses on torque at the low end, and then drifting in the middle, and then just being able to maintain drift at the high end and just go really fast in a straight line. But I mean, there's it's very arcadey in that way, just 1, 2, 3, and you can just slap between those rather than overcomplicating it. They started out with 5, and they kind of decided to kind of make it simpler so it'd be more arcadey. Yeah.
Well, before we go, Dan, do you want to let everybody know about any Sega Guys videos that are coming up in the next week?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, for our members, the preview video that will be airing on Monday. So we do podcast, short video, alternating fortnightly. So we just had the podcast. Bonus video was the Warhammer one, but our Monday premiere video is actually Bayonetta. It's a video I've been working on for quite a while, actually. Yeah, it took me a while to get to the bottom of that one. I do absolutely love Bayonetta. Went through, a bit of the history, how well it holds up today. Touched on the best ways to play it, but yeah, hope people enjoy that specific topic. It's going back to kind of Xbox 360, going outside the usual Sega consoles that we cover. So yeah, that's what's coming up, and then we've got a bunch of pods coming up. Obviously, looking forward to recording with you guys this weekend on the Composers topic. We did a back-to-back recording with Mel, Sega Lord X, last weekend. That was like 5 hours. It flew by, but it was a load of fun. So it was
5 hours. Wow.
Yeah. It was. I don't know how he. I mean, there's me saying I struggle with the late nights. Mel was there at like, it would have been like 5 or 6 in the morning in like Virginia when we finished. It was insane.
Yeah, but, he's a night owl.
He is. But yeah, we've got some really cool conversations out of that, which will be coming on the channel soon. But yeah, in fact, it will be Bayonetta on Monday, and then the following podcast will be the Sega 65th anniversary discussion with Sega Lord X. So lots of good stuff coming on the channel.
Good.
Excellent.
So should we thank our Patreon patrons?
Sure. Yes. $10 and up patrons help keep the lights on and keep us doing stuff, and we appreciate you guys. Stuff. A Murder of Crows, and help maybe Pat will get a Wooksy and then let us know what he thinks about it. I don't know. Hint, hint. A Murder of Crows, Cerulean, Chris Piper, Daniel Fredrickson, Derek Pascarella, A-Team. Shouts, Derek. Thanks for that comparison matrix. Appreciate it. Emerald Nova, Evo42, Fat Drunk Friend Otaku, Gem Clash or Rank, Johannes Fetz, Lion Wing Publishing, Memphis, Normal Guy, Nutrageous, Paul Bort, Robert Ramsey, Rowan Dinked, Sega Steve, Stone Man, the Sega Guys from the Sega side, and Young Money Swee. I believe that's Sweden, but I don't want to dox him. But anyway, Young Money Swee.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting us at the $10 and up level. If you want to have your name read out like this, you can do that. Otherwise, we put everybody's name in the credits if you support us at any level. And also, again, I'm a broken record, but I will say, join our Discord if you haven't yet. It's the place to
join
be.
It.
And if you're there, then you pretty much all the news before it happens, because Dan, every time he publishes an article, it goes up in the news channel.
I mean, you always put it on our Twitter and stuff, and our Facebook as well.
Exactly. And the Sega guys are here too, so you can talk to them, and they have their own Discord, so join their Discord while you're at it, and even sub as a member on their YouTube channel, because you get early access to all their content that way. And it'll be great. If you can't support us financially, though, no worries. Just come be a part of the community,
Yeah,
because that's what we really want to do, is continue to build the community and have more people get involved. You never know when the next Saturn developer is out there and might stumble into our community, Yeah. like Dan, when he stumbled into the community and was like, I'm going to do a Saturn fan dub thing, or you all did, but did Bulk Slash and then Stellar Assault. That's just kind of how things happen. And we had
Shadow Mask working with Shadow Mask on, doing
Death Mask, and then now he's done multiple projects,
Mobile Suit Gundam and all the other stuff.
He's now the Gundam guy.
Yeah, so
Malenko as well.
Malenko's been so prolific, and I remember when he first joined and was but I mean, I know he had been working on the Fire Pro before that, but he's been so prolific since, so it's just crazy.
You can also join the Sega Guys Discord too if you want as well. It's also a pretty cool time. I think there's a little bit of crossover, but there's still some people that aren't on that Discord that's on ours, and vice versa. So there's a lot of cool people to talk with on there too.
Yeah.
And now you can bug Dan. Actually, guys, go stop right now. Go start drama in the Sega Guys Discord, so we can take a break from all our drama and all our Discord. Just start it over there, so that way we can have a break.
Yeah,
you'd love it.
I just realized something. If I put this shirt up, it'll be Dan.
Yeah. Awesome.
There we go. Let's get a screenshot of that, boys. Dan.
Perfect. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening on the podcast. We appreciate all of you. Are you going to do a little stream, Pat?
Going to do a little stream for a little bit. I'm going to play some Jet Set Radio because of the anniversary of it coming up. So we'll play a little bit of that.
Stick around for that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and remember, you must play Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn.
Must.
You must.
Live, right, Pat? We're still
You're still
we're on
live.
the game stream part. Okay. Well,
I'm just gonna fix the TV input because I wish there was a way. If anybody knows this, the retro tank, if there's the retro tank, if there's any way to auto set it to where it just stays on SCART RGB, that'd be great. But because it keeps not defaulting that, and that gets really annoying. It's weird.
Well, I'm going to get off of chat and have my little anniversary shrimpy dinner with Pudgy Bunny. So
enjoy your shrinner, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the best to you and Pudgy Bunny. I hope you have a great one. And I am going to crawl into bed.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Good night.
All right. Take care, guys.
Later. Alrighty then. Well, thank you guys for coming back. Oh, I need to fix some more stuff, right? Start officially. I changed the chat recently, so it's actually has like actually able to see a lot of it and see who's talking. So I'm just gonna try to put that up there so I can actually see the chat a little bit more. Put that behind Elgato. That'd be probably good. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Today we are playing some Jet Set Radio. I think the anniversary of the game's coming up soon, and there's a lot of talk online. So I figured I'd play a little bit of it. I've actually not played a ton, so I'm not sure how good I am at it. So if I'm garbage, you guys can just be like #garbage in the chat, and just clown on me for it. So yeah, we're doing some Jet Set Radio. For those who don't know, it's a famous game by Sega. A famous it's like graffiti game. It's really good. Like you just skate around and graffiti stuff. It's kind of hard to describe, and has a killer soundtrack. Graffiti is art. It is art. But the act of vandalism is okay in my eye. We here at Sega Saturn SHIRO do support vandalism as a crime. It's a good crime to do. So if you guys could be vandalizing stuff, go ahead. There's nothing cut off, nothing like condoned from our side. We actually encourage it. If you guys can graffiti more stuff in real life, that'd be great. As I think especially with the way stuff is, definitely graffiti as much as you possibly can, all over the place. That is also a joke for people that are watching and various law enforcement agencies. That was a joke. So yeah, I don't think graffiti is a good thing to do, but it is funny. So I mean, as long as it's funny, right? Gotta get a call from HR tomorrow. Yeah, I'll get a call from myself. Yeah, I talked to SHIRO HR and they said it was okay. But yeah, I always love the art style of this, like this cell shading and pixelation. I love games like this, especially like Maximum Overdrive? Oh, no, Cell Damage. That's the name of it. Cell Damage on the GameCube is really fun too. I love that game. There's also that other skateboard one that's by what's his name? The dude that Ren and Stimpy. What is that? The GameCube skateboard one that's cell shaded? Just break everybody's constructions in Minecraft. Yeah, that too. SHIRO said I could vandalize. Yeah, I gave you the right to. Alright, well, I guess we're learning the basics. I don't have a save on this thing, so let's go. Alrighty then. Everyone gets to see me suck at Jet Grind Radio, so I'm excited for that. Or Jet Set Radio. Actually, I want to see the consensus. I want to put up a poll because I want to see what people actually call it. Jets. I just dropped that control on the ground. Or Get Grind. Get Grind. Jet Set. Jet Grind. I actually want to see the polling numbers of that. Let's see what people call it. Alrighty. I keep expecting to grab the other pad, but there we go. Actually, I forgot what I need to do, so I'm just gonna grind. Oh, oops. Main menu. I just gave up the game immediately. I probably should have paid attention. Looks like we got full jet set, Mr. Bones Radio. Oh crap, I forgot what to do again. I think it was on this railing and then on the other one. I probably should have paid attention, but I am silly, Patrick. There you go. I think it's over there, and then you turn over here, I think. Oh, nope. It's been a hot minute since I played this. I'm gonna actually not skip this time. As a smart person, should not. Pat is winning. Yeah, I'm just so good at this game. Let's just do a Pat is bad at game. This is like the Pat is bad at game stream. Oh, it was just that. Is it right? Yeah, I got on the car. But I have to actually be on top of the car. I feel like Dark Side Phil right now. Oh, I actually have to be on top of the car. Okay. See, I'm good at games, guys. I know how to game goody. I can do video game. Okay, it's this one I got right, because I remember it was like this, and you like turn the camera and you go up the stairs, I think. Over that one. Or that. Go. There we go, I want to do something fancy. Ooh. Time to get serious. Alrighty, let's go spray some things. Okay, this is the important part of the game. This is where you're allowed to do this. I can confirm you're legally allowed to do this in real life. Especially on Ubers. That's usually what I do. Alrighty. Let's go spray and pray, baby. Okay, that was weird. There we go. Now we're getting it down. Gum has joined you. Cool. Gotta get some gum. I guess I can join you. Cool. There we go. Now we get the good music. Oh, I forgot. I think this might get copyrighted. I remember last time I did it, like, a song came on, it did copyright it. But I don't care because it's Jet Set Radio and I'm not playing without the music on. It's kind of pointless. Even if we get copyright striked, it's like, well, I would not do that, you know? It's like Jet Set Radio without the music is like playing like with the volume off. It's like, it's pointless, in my opinion. There we go. Yay. Jetto Seto Grindo. Welcome to QTE hell. I mean, it's definitely not the worst QTEs. It ain't Resident Evil 4, at least, so. Resident Evil 4 has the worst QTEs I've ever seen. Time to get on those cars. There we go. Alrighty, just go down the hill. The last fight in Shenmue 2. I need to finish Shenmue. I've actually not beaten the games at all. I've played both of them, but I've never ended up beating them. I probably should though. Okay, a bit long. Right, wrong button. Get over here, car, god damn it. Ow. Well, that's one way to do it. How do you grab it? I probably should have been paying attention. I am not good. I'm just gonna kill by the truck. There's a button to grab that, right? Let's see, I'll try to grab this one. Or just go on the back of it. I believe so. Just doing some jet grind radio. Oh, I grabbed it for a second, damn it. There we go. Happy Father's Day, y'all. It was the X button, that's what it was. Grab these. Yeah, grab these four and you go down. I forgot what else you spray. You spray something. Ow. Ow. There we go. Where are we going for this? Dang it. It's probably really close to it. Rip. Do a little retry on that one. There we go, just grabs onto it. I think this is a Father's Day game, I think. I don't know actually, but... Let's see here. 4 bottles. Goes down. I just want to see where he sprays. Okay, I see. There's the wall right there. Yeah, there we go. Oop, it's too soon on that one. There we go. Weesh. Eat those ones. The bottles. You skate down. What the heck? Oh, that's a weird hitbox. Skate down. Over here. Or just get on the car. That works too. That's kind of cool. Ow. Okay. Not go on the car is the answer. Weird, isn't there like a... The heck? This is not there? That was weird. Skip that. I could have sworn it was like right down over there. That's weird. That was weird. Maybe it's like down a little bit further. I want to double check. Yeah, this thing about the game is that it didn't. I need to like pay attention. But it's like, oh gosh, it's so long. I just forget. I just want to skate around and do this. I know how to play. Well, I guess not really, but go. Go. Down. Okay, that was weird. Let me spray it. Oh. Oh, yeah, that was weird. Alrighty. Yeah, I need to charge this controller. It's not like responding to the buttons. Have a good night, my dude. Okay. Two. Oh yeah, this is the one I was thinking. It was a go up here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Bad. Go down there. Jump on there. Sweet. There we go. I'm getting my groove back. There we go. I guess I'm cool. I'm okayly cool. I'm just okay. Just okay. Okay, we can actually do the missions now.
Hey out there, this is Tokyo's very own #1 pirate power station.
Radio.
Over the hood, through the streets, and right into your brain. We're transmitting our signal straight to you. Y'all got your antennas on or what? Yeah, we're right behind a smooth stream of supersonic sound. And I'm your captain and DJ, Professor K.
Always a great game.
Three gangs are fighting for the Tokyo streets. In the west, from Vacant Joe, the city of the night. We got those high-tech maniacs, those man machines, the noise tank. And in the east, from Kogane Joe,
I like their outfits.
it's that crazy monster mask wearing gang. Poison.
I want to get that outfit. That'd actually be a cool cosplay.
In the south, the city of daylight. It's those troublemaking punks, the
GG's.
The GG's home turf, Shibuya Joe was just attacked. Was it Poison Jam? They were talking about spreading out there. Or maybe it was the noise tank, trying to send a system crash through the whole city. Listen up, all you innocent fools out there. Officer Onishima has got some special order Kisatsu bracelets all ready for you. So, get yourself to the bathroom and brush those teeth, boys and girls. Because a whole load of trouble is heading your way.
Sweet. I'll save. Ooh. Have fun, Captain Harden. Play some games. I know one game you could probably play. Actually, yeah. I wonder if, oh, it's probably at the, it probably wasn't, I probably can't do the internet without the regular modem, right? I can't probably do with the broadband one. I will do Beat. Beat's my favorite. I'll try before we go though. I think we could see if we can get the internet a little bit. But I doubt it's gonna do anything, but well, we'll try it. Alrighty, start tagging. Take that. Okay, that's why. One here. Go away. Yeah, get out of here, kid. Heck? Okay. Oh, I'm out of paint, that's why. There we go. What is the rumble kits? Are the rumbles enabled for that game? This is pretty cool. Let's go up here. Graffiti going. Okay. Oh, I threw from the top. Ooh, I don't know, paint. Okay. Nope. Ow. Alrighty, let's get some paint. Or I just missed those ones, that's fine too. Back up here, get some, or not. Alright, so I'll start from over here and just grind back up. There we go. Oop, I missed that one. Lol, I just get by the car. I get talented for— no, don't exit. Get back here. There we go. I got a talent for getting hit by the cars, though. I'll have to give myself that. Okay, there we go. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, it might be a hot minute. The last time I might have played this game was when I recorded the demo of this one, the release of the beta of this game. So it might have been a hot minute. I'm just gonna say that it might have been quite a while since I played this once again. Just that one. Oh. We better get the other ones. Go. Go. Actually, I thought I might need that last one. And then I think this last one for that. Or not. I need one more. Okay. Go. Get some more. Oh, cops right there. Go. Dang it, I almost hit that one too. Go. Avoid the cops. Or just fall off, that works too. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I just heard him coming down over there. Bro. It's gonna... There we go. Oh shit, I gotta run. I probably should have done those ones first. Oops, need to get back up those rails. Bro, I'm so good at dodging the paint. Oh shit. Go. Let's say calm down a little bit. I have to finish this one. There we go. Uh-oh. There we go. It's gonna avoid this completely. Oh gosh, why does he have a gun? Oh my gosh. Ah! Shit, ow. Oh gosh. Go up the... grind up it. Get off the rails. Oh my gosh. Get off of me, damn it. Actually, it's really funny. Ow. I'm running, lady. There we go. I forgot these ones too. There we go. Oh, cool. That was close. There we go. I got it though. Oh dang it. Ah, it's 5 o'clock. I gotta go. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna see if we can do this again, because I actually do like this game a lot. But unfortunately, I gotta end it at 5 because I got stuff I gotta do. But yeah, we'll get more going next time. We'll do cutscene, check the we'll check the internet, see if that actually works before I go, and we will call it.
Someone somewhere is crying with a ookie ookie waku waku feeling. Can the GG save Shibuya?
GG indeed. Jet Set 1. Say, let's see. Yeah, probably go back to the garage here. We can change the memory card. Just gonna save real quick. Oh no, system, there you go. That going. Save. Oh wow, it's only on the controller port. That kind of sucks. That actually does suck. Alright. Internet. See what the internet even does. What is it looking for? Weird. Okay. Not been set. Okay, there's failure. Actually, I do not know if it's on my settings or whatever, but okay. Looks like we can't, so anticlimactic. Reconnect. Options. I guess I actually do need I do need the modem only to do that. That kind of sucks. Oh well. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, you must play Sega Saturn.